What's up, everybody? BlueGabe. Welcome to Crystal River, Florida. We can't see it because we are on the west coast of Florida, but you can see a little glimpse of it. There is a beautiful sunrise this morning. We got Crystal Beachy over here on the BlueGabe boat.
Morning.
We've got Jake and Venture down there. They're trying to get the boat that we're actually getting ready to go on. They're trying to show them which way to come in to park next to us, because we've got enough gear to supply a small army for one day of fishing.
Food.
So the guy that's pulling up, him and his wife and a couple of his buddies to take us out on the boat today, we have one of the craziest stories ever on how we met him, and we'll tell you that in just a minute. First, we've got to load up. Sorry about that squeaking noise. That dock is horrible. All this food, all of our dive gear and everything else, and then we'll see you on that boat that's pulling up right now. Before we can even dive into this video of us yesterday on that awesome boat, I got to tell you what you can expect, because once we got on the boat, I forgot to tell y'all what we were going to do. I completely had the biggest brain fart ever, and none of my crew thought to tell us either.
Oops.
Oops. Anyhow, we're taking this 34 Costa Custom about 30 miles offshore in search of grouper and mangrove snapper and whatever else we can shoot. We did film everything. We just forgot to tell y'all what we were gonna do. When we get back and we get done with the spearfishing, see Mr. Brad right over there? We're gonna tell you the story of how we met, because it was incredibly interesting. So he's got a pair of 400 racing Mercs. This boat is 34 foot, right?
Yes, sir.
It's a Costa Custom, and that thing is super nice. Neutral. All aboard.
Let's roll.
So once we get done spearfishing, like I said, we'll see you back here on the Blackjack.
That's a big
That's a big old big one right there.
I'd mark this spot right here. There's a big, huge mangrove right here.
A few moments later.
In pure Florida fashion, it was beautiful, sunny, and now look at this. It is pouring down rain.
I'm scared to go down if the boat wants to break loose, we can lost.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The current is ripping right now.
The current's not going bad. The wind would drag y'all away so quick.
Yeah. It looks like the perfect weather.
what's in front of you.
It's sticking my head.
We are in a giant rainstorm. But we're good over here.
We're fine.
We're fine.
All day long.
Brad had on some football on the TV just a minute ago.
You got it.
Not a bad day.
College game day.
Not a bad day.
In the torrential downpour.
I hope the stabilizer's working because we are rocking.
Nice mangrove.
Let's see it, Jake.
Yep.
Let's see
I've
it.
been diving for an hour and I haven't seen any. I don't know.
Nice.
They go up here.
Look at these waves. We're rocking.
That's that big one.
It's gonna be a nice weekend, they said.
Oh my goodness.
Beautiful.
Good thing is, I think we'll have it to ourselves after this.
Yeah. That's the way to
Holy
think
cow,
positive.
that rain's cold.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's cold.
Careful.
It's hot in the water. Oh, that's freezing.
Get off of my towel.
Dude, I looked under every rock and didn't see anything. Where do you shoot that silver at?
Huh?
Where are we finding the stopper?
In the water?
I dived every hole on
I missed that big grouper and Venture saw where it went right down and shot it in the head.
A few moments later.
Put my gun on safety is the question of the day. That was a rookie maneuver. I just shot him right in front of a Baccaruda.
Did you really?
Somebody yelled at my brain to put my gun on safety.
Oh, Jason's got something. Oh, nice. 14,
Mangrove
Jake.
in the box.
Jason.
Nice.
14.
Sneak peek. Boys are fighting some current right here. We're in 30 foot of water. We got a new species.
She's not.
Nice job, Jake.
Shot out a couple of them.
Great job. That'll be good eating right there.
Oh yeah.
Nice. Another mangrove in the boat.
On the little spot. Oh man.
It's so dirty that when I got down there, I kept like looked like little submarines. And this one turned around and looked at me the wrong way.
Nice, dude.
Good job, Gabriel.
Jake was talking that smack.
He
You see what
was.
old Dad did?
He said, he came up, he said, I think Dad just shot, I heard it.
The rock's right here.
Nice. Put
Nice.
him in the box.
Nice.
Ooh.
Oh. There we go.
We are feeling the box. Well, we aren't. But we're helping.
We're helping.
We're helping, by golly.
Okay. The grouper are under me. Jake, come here and help me real quick.
Gabe evidently shot a fish in a pipe and lost his gun. The shaft is still through the fish and he's stuck in the pipe. Visibility is not great enough for us to be able to see where the gun is, so we are sending Mr. Brad, old Scuba Brad, all suited up in his scuba gear. We're sending him after it to go find the gun and the fish, please. We need both, the gun and the fish. Luckily we are spot locked down, so we haven't moved any from this area.
You have my gun glove?
Yes. Which one? Green? Which
Or
one?
the Killa?
Which one? This one?
That one, yeah.
Is it already cocked or?
No.
You gonna do it down there?
A few moments later.
Did Brad find a gun?
Yeah, and the fish.
I could see it was all dusty. I'm like, either Brad found it or...
Hey, this is a big fish.
What do you want me to grab?
Gabriel, you little stinker. That is a
I got.
stud.
Oh my gosh.
Stud. Nice. We got a twofer.
Oh my gosh.
Well, we're all tangled up here. Brad. You the man though. Give me some nucks on that. Good job. This is an absolute honey hole. Let's see him, Tyson. Nice fish.
That was like I barely saw him and just pulled the trigger prey.
That is awesome.
Crystal, this is an Arrington. You know how I know how?
How?
Look how big his mouth is. Look at that pile of fish right down there.
Dang! Boys did some work today. There's some good hogs.
Rope us. I mean, we did work on the mangrove snapper. Look in here.
Oh my gosh, there's a bunch in there.
I mean,
see?
a bunch.
If you see a big one, that's the one I got.
Our shrimp got wet.
Another hog.
3 nice hogfish or 4?
Oh yeah.
Grouper?
Are your hands frozen yet?
Yeah, they're so cold.
Oh, we have a dog. Hi, dog. Hi, dog.
We're gonna be eating good tonight.
What do you think, boys? Y'all have a good day?
Oh yeah, sure.
That looks like a dang good day. That's a haul.
That's a haul.
Give me some nooks. Good job. Jake, hold some up for me. I want to see what they look like. That's a big one right there. Dang.
Hey, we got some fish.
Dang.
Against all odds, we wore their butts out yesterday. Now this is Mr. Brad, and the way we met is one of the most interesting things ever. So we were in the Bahamas a couple months ago, coming into Boodle Bay where we stay, saw this absolutely beautiful boat coming out, and we could tell that they were turning towards the tuna grounds, and we wanted to tuna fish the next day. So of course we stopped and talked to him, and you could just see it in his eyes. Who was the younger kid?
That was my son, Gabriel.
Oh, okay, it was your son.
Yeah.
You could tell in both of their eyes that something bad had happened. And I'm smiling right now because you can laugh about it now, but back then you couldn't laugh about it. Tell them what had happened that day.
So earlier the day we had gone off Freeport tuna fishing. We found a pack of birds. We put first tuna in the boat, about 60 pounds. And
was that your maiden voyage on the boat?
It was. We had just took delivery of the boat the 2 days prior, and we invited my brother-in-law down from Maryland to join us on the Bahamas crossing, and had the first fish in the boat. Made the second pass, put him on the blackfin. He got to the boat, and as soon as we gaffed the fish, he had a cardiac arrest and dropped dead in the back of the boat. And so his wife was on the boat, the whole family was on the boat, and I pulled out I had gotten an AED.
Who even has one? I remember you telling me that. Who even has that on their boat?
I don't know why. I had some feeling to put this thing on the boat a couple of years ago. We do a lot of long range trips, and I said, you know, it might be a pretty good safety equipment thing to have.
And that's one of the shockers, right?
Yeah, you put the pads on their chest, and we pulled this thing out, and I didn't even know what to think, and took his shirt off. My wife helped take the shirt off, and I put the pads on him, and I pressed the on button, and it ran an analysis, and there was a lot of panic on the boat at this time, and it did a countdown and said to clear the patient, and it shocked him, and he flew up off the deck. And my wife started driving the boat, and his wife was visibly distraught. And
at this moment, he's dead.
At this moment, he was dead as a doornail. There was no life in him at all. It's something that you'll never mistake seeing once you've seen it. And so we started the chest compressions, and the first 6 minutes went by, no life. And I didn't realize at the time, but when doing CPR, you usually break the person's ribs, and it's not a fun thing to go through. So we ended up breaking 8 of his ribs.
Dang.
And so another 6 minutes, they shock him again, and at this time I was pretty much giving up hope. We were 12 minutes in, and my son took over the compressions, and I drove the boat. And a couple minutes after that, my son screamed out that he was back to life, and that he was awake. And we rolled him over, and he was in a lot of distress. And we got him into Freeport, and the ambulance picked him up from the wharf, took him to the Freeport hospital, at which point
Freeport, Bahama.
Freeport, Bahama.
Yeah.
And that's not a place I'd recommend going. If it were up to me, I'd try and avoid that place.
That's where I got my hand sewed up.
And we had to get him out of there back to the States, and a Whole Truth member offered up a plane, and he flew the plane from Apopka, and we did a self-checkout, checked him out, had him flown over back to the States to the VA Medical Center in Miami. And that night he underwent open heart surgery, and they pulled out a clot. And he's back in Maryland, recovering still, but his prognosis is 100%. No brain damage while he was down.
And when I met you, that was just hours after all that went down.
Hours after it went down, and my wife was still at the hospital with him and her sister.
Y'all were just like taking a boat ride to cool off.
My son and I jumped in the boat to try and even comprehend what we had just been through.
And that's when we ran into him. And they told us that story, and we're like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. And I was like, hey, aren't you Gabe? It was great. This dude is awesome. He gave me his deep drop rod and said, why don't you go blow off some steam? Here's some numbers. And it really helped us out. And I knew he was a cool dude. So I said, when you guys come up to Crystal River, let's get out and we can go try and find some scallops or fish. And
we killed the fish yesterday.
Here we are.
We dang sure killed the fish.
Epic day yesterday.
But I will say, that's why it's super important to be prepared on a boat, because you really never know. His brother-in-law was super healthy. He wasn't overweight. He wasn't like, he just happened to have a heart attack. And because he had that machine on there and his son knew how to do CPR, his brother-in-law is alive. If that would have happened on my boat, he would have died, because unfortunately I don't know how to do that, and I wouldn't have had that machine on there. I will have one here soon. And another thing I'm gonna have is, what internet do you have on that boat? Starlink. I'm gonna get Starlink, because then you can make calls way offshore. If I was over, and somebody got bit by a shark, you can then make a phone call. But that's enough of that story. That was crazy. It was awesome the way we met. It was horrible the way we met at the same time. Yeah, how it started. But we're pulling up to somebody right now you guys might recognize. He's out here on his houseboat just living the dream. But he also has a really funny story from yesterday too. You guys remember that storm that we showed you just a minute ago that we hit? Wait till you see what they were in the same storm in. Horrible. Y'all might recognize this guy in just a second. Jake, bump us up a little bit. He's got quite the rig here. Hot water heater, rod holders, air conditioning. Hey, tell me y'all weren't in that storm yesterday in that boat.
I was 25 miles offshore now.
Y'all jigging with Jordan.
How's it going, partner?
You know what's funny is I've been wanting a golden retriever so bad lately, and Crystal.
About to get one. He's going hop.
Come on, buddy.
Go hop right up there.
Crystal just said, "Is that why you want a golden?" I'm like, well, now that we're talking about it, he is pretty.
He's a big swimmer.
You guys, you'd be living under a rock if you didn't know who that is. Hey, Boopy. Look at him. Hey, we were in a big boat and that storm was bad.
Yeah, I'm glad you were in a big boat. I was in this, wishing I was in this. And this doesn't even do storms well.
He's excited.
Hey, buddy.
How long have y'all been out here?
We're going on week 1. We're phasing into week 2.
Oh, you're gonna stay the whole month?
2 weeks of grouper season. We're committed.
Holy
and we
moly.
have 1 grouper to show for it.
Look at that boat though, I'm digging it.
You like it?
I'm digging it.
It's got the old jet drive on the back. We have that one. That one's mine, but that one's got 110 gallons of fuel and water.
Oh, yeah, that's horrible.
So,
You want to know what's crazy? See Mr. Brad? We just told the story. That's what we were doing back there.
Yeah.
How I met him, he went on his maiden voyage to the Bahamas and his brother-in-law fell over dead on the boat.
oh my God.
The day I met him, like 2 hours later, and they ended up bringing him back to life because they had one of them machines that shocks you on the boat. Who would even think to have that?
Oh man, we got a first aid kit. That's all we got.
That's all I have too.
I'm allowed to get a freaking boo-boo. That's it. Goodness gracious, man.
Y'all, we can't pull over here and not give y'all a tour of the houseboat. I mean, look at it.
First of all, it's good to see you, partner.
Look at this, rod holders. We need this for the river. You got to come do a video on the Omaha River with this.
Once I get this engine also working, we're waiting on a starter, by the way. So once I get this engine working, we can't get home until we have a starter. So yeah, I got 2 boats down. The only boat I have that works is this one. But
you know what's funny is out of all my boats, my John boat's the only one that always works.
Best one.
I'm telling you. Let's give him a tour real quick.
Yeah, I'll give you a tour. So check it out. First of all, we've got all lights outside. This is, okay, so this is the catch and cook cabin. The whole goal is to catch fish, clean them, cook them right here. This is the catch and cook cabin. So cleaning stations, water wash downs, lights, light bars, the whole deal. Then you come inside, you might feel a nice cold breeze.
Goodness, it's freezing.
We keep her nice and cold. I'll turn all the lights on for you. And so
hopefully nobody snores.
well, see, anybody snores, they get kicked out.
Look at the lures.
Yep, we got the old bait wall there. We got the 4 bunks. And the only problem we found is that when 4 grown dudes are sleeping, she tilts a little bit. So we just put like a lot of weight on that side.
A ballast tank.
Yeah, exactly. So normally we have all this cleaned up, but the TV we'll watch at night. Then we've got our refrigerator and freezer. She slides out. Oh, let me show you something. Let me show you something, old son. Look at that.
You got you some grouper.
Yeah, that's all I got. It's not as much as you guys. BlueGabe sent me a freaking video the other day while I was almost dying in a rainstorm. He sent me a video of his cooler, and I'll just show you. It was absurd.
Yeah.
So,
let's look outside.
yeah, here, check out the back.
Dang, the motor's in the boat.
Yeah, she's in the boat. This is our industrial section. So
that's probably the favorite part.
Hot water heater, propane. She rips real nice, like really, really hot. Our generator failed this trip, so we had to go get a new generator this trip. And then one thing we were having problems with, this didn't used to be screened in. Bugs like crazy because the exhaust.
Yeah.
So they would just get real bad here. So it's not bad now. It's all kind of figured out. And then we've got like a full-fledged bathroom. The door swings open this way, so you have to come on this side to see it. But so our full-fledged bathroom there.
Heck yeah.
And it has a onboard blackwater tank. So it has a freshwater tank on board and a blackwater tank. So
y'all didn't know y'all were about to get the whole private tour of Jigging with Jordan's awesome catch and clean houseboat. Well, folks, on my channel, nothing ever really goes as planned. I have convinced them to get on this boat, and we're headed out into a bad storm. Let me pull up the radar. Let me just pull up the radar real quick, folks. Yeah, you see this? That's where we're going, right there.
That's about right. That's where they're swimming at, right there.
That's where they're
Little
at.
extra water for them to swim in today.
Yep. So from here on out, if you want to see what we're going to do, you got to check out Jiggin's channel. It'll be in the link in the description below. And then when we get back in, if we have time, we'll go to the springs. Brad's opting out of this. He was going to go to the springs with us, but now he's like, well, maybe I'll go back to the house. But good thing is we got Reef with us. Reef.
Reefer.
We go. You ready to get a grouper?
That reef cat.
Yeah, we got to swing by and grab some ice. And we got a 25-mile run offshore. The good thing is though, let me zoom in. If you can see the smoke coming out of those stacks, it's going straight up. That's a good sign, because I have been going out before and it be laid over.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah.
That's a good thing. So we'll see y'all offshore and then we'll see you back here. I'm not gonna show you any of the spearfishing though from this. You'll have to check it out on Jiggin's.
6.5 hours later.
Boy, like Jiggin was just getting ready to say, I tell you what, y'all ask him yourselves. I'll ask him for you. Did we get him or what?
We put them in a body bag, son.
They're full to the brim.
I mean,
Max,
you might need to get a bigger bag.
Max capacity.
That's insane, man. I've been bumming it on a houseboat and you absolutely saved the day. It's freaking awesome.
Jake and Venture come out swinging.
Yeah.
Did you get anything to eat?
I got 1 fish per day.
Hogfish?
Better than nothing.
You did good. That's pretty deep. I mean, that's 30 foot. Jake's and Venture, they're both young and they're just really learning.
Yeah.
30 foot with not very good viz is...
No, yeah, they did great. I was telling them, I was like, man, y'all are way ahead of me. I started like 7 years ago doing this, so.
I wasn't doing what Jake and Venture are doing now when I was their age.
No, I started when I was like 22, so they're crushing it. But awesome day. A lot of food here, which I'm excited about because I'm living on a boat.
A lot. I think we'll cook tomorrow.
Tomorrow sounds good. We got a long night still.
Yeah, we still got to drive home. Hey, Reef, sometime today, let's pinch it off. That poor dog, he's been on the boat all day long. You can go a little bit longer. We won't rush you. We're right at the mouth of Crystal River right now. That's what they call Shell Beach. Jiggin said he was going to do a video here all-nighter one night. What happened?
Yeah. I found out the no-see-ums are god-awful. They are so bad here, so we canceled that idea, but I did think it would be cool.
It would be cool, except for the no-see-ums.
Yeah, it was not as cool as I thought.
Yeah, we still got a 3.5 hour ride home. We still got to get some good pictures with Jiggin with these, and yeah, it's going to be a lot longer of a day. Folks at home, Look at those 3 fine specimens. I gotta tell you, I don't have any affiliation with this cooler bag, whatever you want to call it. It is salty hunting fish forever. I don't know. Maybe I'll try to find where I got it and put the link in the description below. Salty Captain right there.
Treasure chest.
It's nice. I mean, it made it super convenient, and I guess for deer hunting it would be nice too if you needed a cooler to go in like your toolbox and only need it for an emergency. I don't even really know where I'm going with this, folks, but it was a handy tool. All right, I'm gonna do something that I don't normally do. These are my 2 spear guns. Both of them are Rife. This is the one that I shot the big tuna with in Dominica. It's the one I shot all the grouper with in Mag Bay. You can find both of these at Exhale Spearfishing in Jupiter, Florida, or I'll check the link in the description below, and they have an online site. Both of them are Rife. One has a reel, one doesn't. I shoot this one free shaft a lot, but I knew the water was going to be dirty in Crystal River, so I put that little cord on there just so I wouldn't lose it, even though I still ended up losing it. And thank God Brad went and found it, folks. I'll explain a little bit on how I lost it. So some of you are probably wondering how I lost it. The water was dirty, there was a lot of current. I was out of breath when I shot the fish and he went in that culvert and turned sideways. I couldn't get him out on that breath. When I came back up, I thought I was gonna go straight back down and I couldn't find it. Looked everywhere and couldn't find it. I knew it was close, but we had a tank in the boat and that's why Brad went in. That's why he went in on the tank. All right, we're gonna clean all 3 of them just to show you a little bit different. If you're new to the channel, I've done hogfish, I've done mangrove, and I've done grouper. I don't think I've ever done all 3 of them at the same time though. First up to bat is the gag grouper. I was gonna use my electric knife, but this serrated knife that I have right here, it's like a bread knife. See, it's not much to it. This joker right here is nice. And you pretty much can't cut yourself with it. Gag grouper is probably my least favorite of the grouper species. I have my good buddy Jeremy coming to get all these grouper heads, just like every time you see me do a grouper, catch, clean, and cook. If you've never done a cheek before, this is a small one, but it is doable. Come right around to his eyeball. You see how I just did that? Lifted it up. Now I don't cut all the way through the skin, just right down to it. And then this little chunk of meat will peel off, just like so. It's a pretty big difference when it comes to meat with these 3 fish, but all 3 of them are really good. You can see there's not a ton of blood on that fillet. I always take this off. This is the fin muscle. I don't like it. All I gotta do is cut out these little bit of pin bones, but that's the grouper. Now before we get to cleaning the mangrove, I gotta give a huge shout out to Parker Ford. 17-year-old young man here in South Florida. He's friends with some really good friends of mine, and he just got diagnosed with something very terrible, a type of cancer. And Parker, we're hoping you the best. Hopefully we can get you out on a hunting trip. Hopefully you get better soon. Thoughts and prayers. Parker, be strong. I couldn't imagine going through what you're going through. Brennan sent me a picture of your first archery kill, that buck that I'm showing everybody right now. Congratulations, and we'll be thinking about you. Now I'm gonna clean the mangrove. I was gonna actually use the electric knife, but I think I'll just take the quiet approach with the fillet knife. The only thing that's a little negative about this particular knife is there's no tip, but to me that's what I like about it the most. I don't have to worry about jabbing myself, and you really don't need a tip if you just take your time. You know what I just realized? We didn't introduce Hollywood today. You're not Hollywood without your glasses though.
Just normal Luke.
Normal Luke. That's my 9-year-old, in case y'all were wondering if you didn't already know. This will be the bloodiest of the 3, but is also my favorite one of the 3. See how there's a whole lot more blood? I'll take a little bit of time, just like that, and cut it out. You don't have to get it all out because it's not terrible. Most Bahamians or Fijians or South Pacific people, they would not cut that out. That's their favorite part. Mangrove snapper. That's my favorite.
Luke, tell them what you just caught in the creek out back.
2 crawfish, and we fed it to the lionfish.
And
Yeah, why didn't you wait on me to feed them to the lionfish so the folks at home could see?
Well, I wanted to see for myself.
Goodness.
it was just me and Luke's thing today.
All right, next up to bat is the hogfish. This is everybody's favorite, except for mine. I don't get all into the hogfish juice. My parents, especially my dad, loves them. They definitely have the prettiest meat. Look at that.
That is...
Hogfish, for some reason, and I don't know the scientific reason why, they don't have a bloodline. Like, they don't have the blood that every other fish I've ever cleaned has. Look at that. His meat looks the same through and through. No bloodline. All right, we got the hogfish, mangrove snapper, grouper cheeks. But this is the most important thing. Got this little outrigger, outdoors vacuum sealer. This is just a snapper and a little bit of grouper because we're giving most of the grouper away. One of my good friends, Stormy, we always give him the heads and he loves it. He really would rather have the heads than anything. But today we're giving him a bunch of the meat too. Now a lot of people, when they go fishing, improperly store their fish. If you vacuum seal it and do it in the proper proportions, it will last forever. Now one thing I'm not used to yet is this stove. Crystal found out that there's a setting on it that gets super hot really fast, and that's actually not a bad thing. We're gonna do a really simple taste test today. Grouper, snapper, hogfish, and some cheeks. Just butter, a little bit of coconut oil, nothing fancy. Luke wanted it fried, but it's now about 9 o'clock at night. I cleaned fish all afternoon. Crystal cleaned the trucks, cleaned the boats. We've been doing a pile of work. That's about all we're gonna do. We're gonna take it in this pan, just let it cook. If you notice, we still don't have an exhaust fan yet. That's next. We still haven't got a backsplash. I did have somebody email me offering to do the backsplash, and I'm not ignoring you. I just haven't had time to even breathe yet. We will get to this soon. We don't know what we're gonna do yet, but we're getting close. What we do know is we're gonna eat some of this fish in just a minute. All three of these species can be hard to cook because you can overcook them super fast. The hogfish is probably the lightest of the textures, but all three of them will fall apart really, really easily. If you've ever been to a high-end seafood restaurant, you've probably seen grouper cheeks. They're always really expensive because look, that's all that you can get off of one single fish. They really, to me, don't taste any better though than the rest of the fillet. Been cooking for about 4 minutes. The hogfish is done. The little grouper cheeks have been done. I will say that the mangrove has fallen apart the most. I was able to keep it together though. The grouper probably needs one more flip. I think it's done now. We'll give it another minute just to be safe. So now it's time for the taste test.
And we're professional taste testers.
I don't know about Luke.
He says, what? Grouper cheeks first?
Yep.
Let's go. Come on, I hadn't even licked off this yet. Oh, a whole one.
Dang. I wasn't expecting that. It's pretty good.
What were you expecting?
Steak.
Steak.
Those are good. They're a little chewy. Very mild. Really good. Hurry up, let's go. Go on to the next. We got fish to eat. Come on, ready?
Hogfish.
Hogfish.
See how flaky it is?
Apart. Yeah.
Get you a
This is
piece,
like,
Jake. Or Luke. No, get you some hogfish.
Come on, hogfish.
You can pick it up with your fingers if you need to.
I love hogfish. That's good, ain't it?
I can tell by his reaction it wasn't as good as those grouper
You like the
cheeks.
cheek better? All right, next one, snapper. You like snapper?
I love snapper.
Ready? Cheers. Come on, dude.
It's funny because these kids watch those cooking YouTube channels all day.
Oh, man.
Best one yet.
I'm telling you, mangrove snapper is always the best. And it's the most underrated fish ever. But y'all still got to try the grouper.
This is really, really, really big, thick flakes. You see that? Ready?
It's a bit fishy.
Gag grouper's always fishy.
It is a little bit more. It's definitely the most fishy.
Which one's your favorite, Luke?
Probably the snapper.
Snapper.
I'm telling you, it's always my favorite.
You want to try?
Yeah. Now the coolest thing about mangrove snapper, if you're not from anywhere where they live, like the Bahamas, all down south, I don't know how far up north they go. They're everywhere. Louisiana, everywhere. You can catch them at boat ramps, at docks, public docks, bridges, everywhere, and not that many people eat them. But anytime you say hogfish, everybody's like, oh, they're the best. They're truly not. If you cook all three side by side, I would be willing to bet that 10 out of 10 people say mangrove snapper is the best. You go to a fish market, hog snapper will be so much more a pound than mangrove snapper ever even thinks about being, and it's not as good.
What'd you eat?
The mangrove snapper.
The cheeks are good too.
Yes.
Maybe save that cheek for me and Luke.
Yeah.
Hog snapper to me is very bland.
I was like really not expecting that with the grouper cheeks.
Oh.
They're actually good.
Yeah, the gag groupers.
It's fishy a little bit.
Gag grouper would make really, really good smoked fish dip. Really good smoked fish dip because it's a fishy fish. Hog snapper isn't worth the price of admission. Mangrove snapper is the bomb. Diggity, folks. Like, you cannot go wrong. You can take your kids to the bridge or your grandma or your grandpa and catch those things anywhere from, I know, Jacksonville all the way around to Key West, all the way to Louisiana, and I'm sure Texas has them too. You can catch them off at any public dock there is. That's a good eating fish right there, folks.
I think that the grouper cheeks are like my second favorite. They're pretty good, but the snappers is kind of better.
Have you ever caught a mangrove?
Many.
All right. Anything else y'all want to say? What about Jake and Venture? They're not here to eat. And Jiggin, you think he's still on the houseboat?
Yeah. That thing was sweet. That thing was really sweet.
Yeah, it was.
We could live on that thing.
All right, folks. You saw it here first. Gag grouper, hogfish, mangrove, all day. Every day, folks. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. But like Jake always says, we getting the heck out of shape.